And a good Christmas Eve morning to you. We're glad you're joining us. I'm Grace McKenna. Hope everyone is sleeping in a little bit today. And if you are joining us, well, welcome. You're waking up to a foggy start, Austin. If folks are hitting the road, especially for kind of that early Christmas travel, they're going to need to be careful.
Yes, but very much be careful when traveling. The entire area under a dense fog advisory until 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. You really can't see out there. Now, if you're on the interstates, at least here in the Louisville Metro, it's okay. The visibility is not that bad, but immediately once you get out of the urban heat island of the interstate or of the city, your visibility drops very quickly. Just like something fell over there. But here's the visibility map. We're below 1 mile pretty much everywhere. Even, I would bet, in Bardstown. I bet that's not a very accurate reading considering, you know, the surroundings. So please be careful when traveling. Give yourself extra distance to stop. And that's what's now on the 3 things to know. What's next? Rain chances moving in tonight. We're looking at spotty showers throughout your Christmas day. Nothing you need to cancel your plans over, though. Here's a live look at the Louisville Metro. And you can see it's a little clearer, but still quite foggy. In fact, there appears to be a band of fog moving into the Louisville Metro right now, where it is about 53 degrees at the airport as well. 45, though, at Bowman Field. And the temperatures are split pretty much right down the middle, where we're still in the mid to upper 50s in the southern zones of Kentuckiana. It's still humid regardless. That's why the fog is still there. We're going to be dealing with that fog throughout the rest of the morning. Again, the dense fog advisory until 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. Here's that hourly planner, and you can see how warm it's going to get today with highs in the lower 60s. Let's dive into traffic now. The main thing is the fog. You got to be careful in the fog. Turn on your fog lights and make sure you have plenty of time to come to a complete stop. Joining the stalled vehicles that we have been reporting, we do have another hazard here on appears to be I-65. Northbound I-65 exit 131A at I-264. One lane is blocked and the left-hand shoulder is blocked, most likely due to a stalled vehicle, though that information is not here at this time. Here's our 4-box Trimark traffic camera where everything is moving relatively smoothly. Again, in the city on the interstate, you're relatively clear, but get outside the city, your visibility drops quickly.
All right, Austin, thank you. Our top story this morning, the man arrested in connection to a deadly shooting at Kentucky State University is free. It comes after a grand jury decided not to indict Jacob Lee Bard. Bard is now out of the Franklin County Jail after claiming self-defense in the case. His family had posted his $100,000 bond right before the grand jury met. They chose not to indict Bard on charges of murder or first-degree assault. Bard's attorneys say he acted in self-defense after days of escalating threats and violence directed at his son and other students. They allege a group of people attacked Bard's family when they entered a campus building. They say during the confrontation, Bard's son was knocked to the ground and beaten, prompting Bard to fire his weapon. One student, 19-year-old Dejon Fox, died and another was hurt. The attorneys say the decision closes the criminal case. KSU President Dr. Kofi Okonkwo released a statement saying, quote, "This development does not lessen the pain our community continues to feel, nor does it change our priorities. Our commitment remains centered on supporting our students and ensuring Kentucky State University is a safe place to learn, live, and work." This morning, a 15-year-old is in custody charged in a shooting that killed 20-year-old Milton Ritchie. Metro Police say they found Ritchie shot outside of a vehicle in a ditch on Ford Haven Road Saturday afternoon. Officials say late Sunday evening, LMPD's 3rd Division arrested a 15-year-old girl in connection to the murder. She's now facing murder and robbery charges. We're still waiting on additional information about the case. A Nelson County judge is allowing State Farm Insurance to intervene in the wrongful death lawsuit against convicted murderer Brooks Houck. This year, Houck was sentenced to life in prison, found guilty of multiple charges in Crystal Rogers' 2015 death and disappearance. Rogers' mother, Sherry Ballard, and her children filed a wrongful death lawsuit in 2023, accusing Houck of intentionally causing Rogers' death. Ballard argued the family is entitled to damages. In a motion filed earlier this month, State Farm, which Houck uses for rental insurance, argued its policy does not apply to any damages the family's lawsuit could award. Nelson County Judge Charles Sims approved State Farm's motion Monday. As we close out 2025, Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg sat down with us as he gears up for a run for re-election. Senior reporter Isaiah Kim Martinez talked to him about a host of issues, from the dream of adding another huge hotel downtown to affordability and housing.
Downtown Louisville needs a new massive hotel right by the International Convention Center.
One more large convention hotel would be incredibly helpful.
That's the belief of Mayor Craig Greenberg, finishing up his third full year in office.
It would help us open up a whole new opportunity of types of meetings and events that we can't currently get. We would help get them here in Louisville.
He's not denying the report from Louisville Business First that major real estate developer Poe Companies aims to transform the iconic 27-story Humana building into a 1,000-room hotel. Humana is selling the building, and it's expected to be vacant by the end of the year.
What kind of money would be needed to assist something like
Well,
that?
we're looking at several things for the next chapter of the Humana Tower. We're looking for what incentives the state can provide. Are there any federal incentives based on that project, and of course locally as well?
Greenberg, who's up for re-election in 2026, says he's working to get help from Kentucky lawmakers next year to speed up the process of creating more housing within the city's urban core.
So we're looking at several things. Some are tax incentives, others might be loan funds.
I asked about the financial crisis at JCPS and what he thinks should be done to fix it.
And my advice is to make the tough decisions now.
In an open records request to JCPS, we discovered 485 of the district's central office employees are making $100,000 or more. We're talking six-figure salaries.
Or one of those decisions downsizing the central office to some degree?
I think that certainly should be at the top of the list for consideration.
And as he seeks a second term as mayor, Greenberg says his administration is putting a focus on bringing down the cost of living. Two examples he mentioned: his request to remove Louisville's reformulated gas requirement and his push to lower utility rates.
When LG&E puts in certain rate requests, we've opposed several of those. We've provided looking for alternative, making it easier for more renewable sources of energy.
His campaign is sure to ramp up next year in what will be the Louisville Metro's first nonpartisan mayoral race. Isaiah Kim Martinez, WHAS11 on your side.
The filing deadline for candidates running for elected office in Kentucky next year is January 9th. Louisville's on pace to see its lowest annual homicide count since before the pandemic. LMPD Chief Paul Humphrey reports as of Monday there have been 111 homicides in 2025, 30 fewer than last year. The number of non-deadly shootings, carjackings, and business robberies also each dropped by more than 22%. As part of LMPD's new crime plan rolled out earlier this year, the department added 5 areas of focus. Chief Humphrey says in those places, crime is down 20% compared to 2024. Humphrey credits the improvements with relationships the department is building.
That's one of the things that we consistently hear, is that the public wants to see officers. They want to have contact with officers. They want to be involved with what we're doing. And so that's what we're asking these officers to go out and do, and they're doing an outstanding job of it.
Humphrey said LMPD has been more visible citywide. He pointed to a big increase in self-initiated runs, nearly 40,000 more than 2024. And the city is honoring a longtime staple of Louisville government. Jefferson County Clerk David Yates just unveiled a new portrait paying tribute to the late Bobby Holtzclaw. It's hanging in Metro Hall with a plaque commemorating the longtime county clerk's life and service to her community. Yates also renamed a hallway there Bobby Holtzclaw Hall. During the unveiling, Yates spoke about Holtzclaw's time in office and her dedication to public service.
You can't think of anything that Clerk Holtzclaw did that was negative, derogatory to her community, but uplifting. She cared deeply, she inspired those around her, and she wanted to make sure local government worked for the people.
Holtzclaw died in September of this year after serving Jefferson County for over 2 decades. Yates was sworn in as interim county clerk in October. Austin, coming over to you, what's one thing we need to know?
All right, Grace, tomorrow at a glance, we're looking at those temperatures starting off in the 60s tomorrow morning. And it might be foggy tomorrow morning as well. Just be on the lookout for that. Highs in the mid-60s tomorrow with those spotty showers throughout the day. Don't cancel any plans. It's not going to be that big of a deal, but it is something that we have been discussing for about a week at this point. I'll time everything out coming up in a few minutes.